HMM traditional one, and using neural networks we get about 56.81% accuracy. Font recognition. That means out of 100 fonts, I recognize 56 fonts correctly. That is what it means. Another application is keyword spotting, I mentioned before. What is a keyword spotting? Here we have a font model, background model, and we want to find out when that particular keyword is coming. How do we do that? So there are a lot of keywords. This can be quite useful in situations where, this security related information. Some people might be talking over the phone and talking that, some security threat related words might be used in those conversations. But intelligence agencies outright, they cannot tap the phones of different people because they suspect them to be involved in some anti-national security efforts. So, but a computer can always record the speech, analyze the speech. There's no problem because no persons will understand what the conversation was. Sometimes the conversations can be even private between husband and wife. Such things you don't want a third party to listen to. But you don't mind a computer listening to it because it doesn't have that intelligence to misuse it. So here the set of keywords are shown here, and then a phoneme loop runs here. Then the probability for these keywords is compared to the probability that comes of any arbitrary phone sequence. If the probability is better than this sequence or within a certain threshold, we give an alarm that I have encountered that particular keyword. Because it's very useful. You have hours and hundreds and thousands of hours of speech recorded, but you want to index them by topics. So in that case, you can run this keyword spotting system to index the document so that you can search and retrieve the documents which is interesting to you. This is the typical way it is done. It generates, the font recognizer generates a lattice. Lattice means there are several possibilities of answers being output. You can see a silence, then H is there. You can see hello is here. Hello. H-E-L-D-O. Hello is there. So there are also other possibilities are there. H-O-L-A-U. But let's say this is the answer. But you have the answer. But let's say that is not the answer. This is the answer which you are looking for. Then you know that the confidence of this answer is not as good as this. But the confidence of this red one is good because that is the topmost answer. So here you get an output telling that, okay, I have encountered a keyword, but my confidence is this. So you have the option to choose or not to choose. Or you may choose the ones which it gives with the high confidence first, and then go down to the ones with which it gives with the less confidence. So normally keyword spotting systems are evaluated using something called figure of merit. What it means is that, of course, there are some false detections. So for up to 1, 2, 3, up to 10 false alarms are allowed per hour, and if that is allowed, what is the percentage accuracy of correct detections? Our systems gave about 54.34 for Tamil and 58.64 for English. Because English system we had a big database. Unfortunately, our Tamil system we had only about 1.2 hours of speech, whereas the English system we had about 15 hours of speech. So that is why the English system gave better performance than the Tamil system. And the language identification, I'll just briefly explain. There are two approaches. One is acoustic models and another one is phonotactic approach. What means is this? By hearing, you understand that is particular language. Another one is you somehow relate that what you has been spoken to the sounds which you know already and then identify the language. Example is this. Let's say you know three sounds, A, B and C. In Arabic, let us say, A, B is coming more frequently. And let's say English AAC is coming more frequently. And say for example in this AAB and AAC are coming frequently. But now if for the given text sentence, if there are more AACs, then we come to the conclusion that it is belonging to English. But I am just explaining you the basic concepts, so it's more complicated than this because we use more than about 40 fonts, and there are many combinations, 40 C3, 40 into 39 into 38 combinations are possible, and not all the combinations even appear in all the languages. So certain combinations appear more frequently in one language, whereas certain combination does not appear in the other language. So all this information is captured using an n-gram language model and is applied on the unknown test sentence to identify the language. That is the basic principle behind language identification. And why do we need this language identification? Most of the time, most of the societies are multilingual in nature. For example, in Coimbatore itself, you can see some people speaking in English and some people speaking in Tamil, and some people mix the languages even without their knowledge. So those segments of the speech which is English, it has to go to an English recognizer. The segments which is Tamil should go to a Tamil recognizer. So you need to identify the language. And there are some information retrieval calls, like you want the travel information, tourist information. You talk to a operator. But today being so computerized, there's no operator there. It's a computer sitting there. The computer has to first identify what language you're talking. Then it transfers your call to that computer which processes Tamil if the conversation is in Tamil, and it forwards the conversations to a computer that processes English if the conversation is in English. Then it gets back the information. It gives back, understands what you spoke and gives back the information. That is one of the applications. There are many call centers. Sometimes this computer cannot understand, but still then what it does is that it has got certain levels of confidence whether it's able to understand or not. If the level of confidence is low, then it forwards your call to a human operator. But remember that the number of calls that has to go to a human operator is around 10% of the total number of calls, by which you can save a lot of money, and not only that, the service can be made available round the clock. This is one of the applications. Then police, sometimes help calls comes. Even though it is Coimbatore, sometimes the caller may be speaking in Kannada, but you don't know what the language itself is in the first place to be able to help that person. If you know, okay, it's Kannada, you can call one person, or you can try to identify a person who understands a little bit of Kannada to understand what that person is talking and offer him some help. Security related applications are obvious. So some languages are perceived to be more security important than some other languages. So you want to monitor those languages more than other languages. So first you have to identify the language first to look for the keywords which are perceived to be against the national security. Thank you very much. I think I just gave a broad outline of the system. If you have some questions, and I have some working systems, if you are interested in seeing the systems, I can show you or the practical system.
Possible to extend this and find out to who the speaker is. Like
it's possible. That is speaker identification.
So that people mimic know whether it is possible to find out is it the real person speaking or some other person who is